What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. Today is schedule release day, so make sure to let me know in the comment section down below your favorite matchup, favorite week. What game are you most excited for? And if you're going to any games that you're planning on going to, let me know. I always like to see where people are going, where the Ravens flock is going to go. Because I may try and get out to a game at some point, but I don't know which one yet. I'm going to try and look for. I live on the West Coast, obviously, so it's more likely I go to one on the West Coast, but I could go out east and go to a good game. But I'm really excited. This is kind of my initial reaction. I mean, I looked at it when it got released, and then I'm recording right now. But I'm going to go through it really quickly. And I'm going to give my thoughts as a whole on the entire schedule because there are some intriguing parts of it. So if you do not know, the schedule is week 1, Houston Texans at 1 p.m., Week 2 on the road at the Cincinnati Bengals, 1 p.m. Week 3 at home against the Colts, 1 p.m. Week 4 on the road against the Browns, 1 p.m. Week 5 on the road against the Steelers, 1 p.m. Week 6 is the London game against the Tennessee Titans. Week 7 is at home against the Detroit Lions, 1 p.m. Then we go out west to the Arizona Cardinals for a 4:25 game. Then back at home for a 1 p.m. game against the Seattle Seahawks, then a 1 p.m. game at home against the Browns. Then we start getting into the prime time. Thursday night football against the Cincinnati Bengals at home. Sunday night football against the LA Chargers on the road. Then a bye in week 13. Week 14 is 1 p.m. game at home against the LA Rams. And then week 15 on the road, Sunday night football against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then Christmas Day, Sunday night football against the San Francisco 49ers. I will be talking about that game. I'm spoiler alert. That is my favorite game. That's it. Week 17, 1 p.m. against the Miami Dolphins. And who else do you finish the season against? Then the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. It's unknown because week 18, they always shift. But the initial reaction is 3 road AFC North games. So all of the road AFC North games are done in the first 5 weeks of the season. That is a tone setter for the division. That is a tone setter for the season. And you get some of the most difficult games you're going to play all year. I don't care who your divisional opponent is. I don't care what team you are. Divisional road games are always difficult. Getting them out of the way early is crucial. You don't have to finish week 18 in Pittsburgh. You don't have to go to Cincinnati, with the season on the line and they're playing spoiler, all those things. We don't have to do that. You don't have to worry about that whatsoever. You play them still again, but you play them at home where you have an advantage. You have the Ravens flock. You have everybody cheering for you in the stands. Going on the road and winning against a divisional opponent is difficult. So that's just kind of the first thing. Getting that out of the way, I think, is very good. Week 1, we get to play against likely a rookie quarterback in his first career start with a new head coach. I like that matchup. I like that matchup. I'm not going to lie. That is a very good matchup to start off week 1. The last couple of years, we've had some tough beginning of the season stretches where we go, oh, we were playing Kansas City really early and we're playing, multiple other teams that are elite. We play a couple of good teams. I don't want to disrespect them. Week 2, we play the Bengals. That's a great team right there. But the Titans in week 6, I think that's a difficult one just because the Ravens have not traditionally played well in London. But I think it's really weird that all of the primetime games start late in the season. Like, I think that sets the stage of exactly how this Ravens season is going to go from a media perspective, because media will always talk about the teams in primetime. Those are the teams that are talked about. And normally, who are the primetime teams? The Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Bills, right? The Packers. Probably not the Packers anymore because Aaron Rodgers is gone, but the big market teams. People love to talk about them because they're always in primetime. The Ravens are going to go under the radar to start the season because almost all of their games to start the season, except for 2, and one of them being a 9:30 a.m. game, meaning 6:30 on the West Coast. That's not going to get talked about. Nobody talks about the international games unless it's Mexico City, because that's typically Sunday or Monday Night Football. The Arizona Cardinal game is really the only one in the first 10 weeks that I think a large portion of the United States and football fans will be watching. I would argue Yeah, maybe a lot of people will watch the Cincinnati Bengals, but the 1 p.m. Eastern time games, most people are watching their local market. And, I live on the West Coast. They're probably going to be showing a Seattle Seahawks game. I'm not going to lie. They show them every single week. I don't know what the other channel is going to be. The CBS Fox, AFC, NFC is over. So I don't know exactly what channel it'll be on. Obviously, I'm going to be buying the YouTube TV subscription package. So I get Sunday Ticket or whatever. I don't know if they still call it Sunday Ticket, but whatever it's called now, I'm getting that. So I'll be able to watch all the Ravens games. Doesn't matter. But a lot of people aren't going to have that. So the Ravens aren't going to be seen by a national audience until week 11. They've played 10 games. They've played 5 at home. They've played 4 on the road, and they've played 1 in London. So kind of 5 on the road, but their opponent was also on the road. They're probably not going to have a great record. Now, I don't think they're going to be bad. They could be 7-3. They could be 6-4. I would not be surprised at either of that. I'm not doing a game by game prediction. Joshua and I will definitely be doing that down the line closer to the season start date. So, stay tuned for that. But all of a sudden, it's going to go, okay, Thursday night football. Everyone's going to see what this team is made of. Then you get Sunday night football again. Back-to-back weeks of primetime football is going to get people talking. And you're playing against, again, right? Back-to-back weeks of not only Sunday night football and Thursday night football, but it's Lamar versus Burrow and Lamar versus Justin Herbert. Those are 3 top 7 quarterbacks in the NFL. I believe I have them all top 6. So I'm going to say 3 top 6 quarterbacks in the NFL right there in back-to-back primetime games. Then, you have the bye week, which is good. Then you play the Rams. Not a lot of people are going to watch that. But then you get, again, back-to-back primetime games. And one of them is on Christmas. Now, traditionally, Christmas is a NBA holiday and Thanksgiving is for football. But because it falls on a Monday, the NFL is putting, out NFL games because that's part of the season schedule. If it was on a Wednesday, there probably wouldn't be any games. There probably wouldn't be any games on a Tuesday. But when it's on a Monday, when it's on a Sunday, sometimes when it's on a Saturday, the NFL is going to try and put some games on there. The Sunday night game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, again, young superstar Trevor Lawrence, young superstar Lamar Jackson, great quarterback matchup. And then the San Francisco 49ers, I fully expect to be one of the best teams in the NFL. I think a lot of people are questioning their quarterback. Who's going to start? I think it's going to be Purdy. I think he's going to be fine. The thing is, this is one of the most high potent, explosive offenses in the NFL with great defensive players as well, right? You have Bosa, you have Warner, maybe probably the second best edge rusher in the NFL in Bosa. I think TJ Watt's number 1, and then the best linebacker in the NFL in Fred Warner. I think Roquan's number 2, by the way. And then on offense, you have the best running back in the NFL, a top 3 tight end in the NFL, and one of the best wide receiver corps in the NFL, and a good offensive line, and maybe the best offensive mind at head coach in the NFL. The 49ers are going to be very good. But something interesting about this is the Ravens have not played very many Thanksgiving, Christmas, holiday games because they're not a historic team. And that's no fault of theirs. They like to put the historic teams on Thanksgiving because, you go to the Lions, you go to the Packers, you go to the Cowboys, you go to the Commanders, formerly known as the Redskins, you go to the Bears, right? You get those teams because it's a tradition that they typically like to do. But the Ravens have played the San Francisco 49ers on Thanksgiving on Sunday Night Football, or not Sunday night, primetime, Thursday Night Football. It's Thanksgiving. It's always on a Thursday. And that game was incredible. That game was known as the first Harbaugh Bowl. It was 2011, and the final score of the game was 16-6. First off, that just shows you how much the NFL has changed because those were 2 very good teams where the final score was 16-6 in the regular season with 2 great defenses going at it. And I fully expect the same thing to happen in this game in week 16. I think this is going to be 2 top 5 defenses, 2 top 5 offenses going head to head in San Francisco in primetime with everybody watching. I expect both of them to be either leading or vying for their division, but also the number one seed in their conference. I think the San Francisco 49ers are the second best team in the NFC. I think the Baltimore Ravens are a top 3, top 4 team in the AFC, but they will absolutely be in the hunt for the number one seed in the AFC to try and get that bye. This is a massive game with huge implications. And the last time they played was 2019, and it was a great game. Justin Tucker ended up icing that game with a field goal where the Ravens took the entire clock. They finished the game. There was like 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes left in the game, and the Ravens were just like, we're going to slowly move this ball up the field. And they kicked the game-winning field goal, and nobody else is going to touch the ball. That's what happened. It was a raining game. It wasn't amazing weather. I hope, this Christmas Day game, is going to be good weather. You're playing in San Francisco. I would expect it to be pretty good weather. Last time I was playing in Baltimore. But that is what a matchup. Like that, those are two, I hope are to be 2 top 5 teams in the NFL at that point on a holiday on Monday Night Football. There's going to be fantasy implications, regular season implications, MVP implications potentially, Defensive Player of the Year implications potentially. And then the Ravens finish it off, week 17 against the Dolphins. That's a revenge game. And also the Jaguars game, Sunday Night Football, also a revenge game. Remember, the Ravens choked the lead against them as well as the Dolphins last year. But then who better to finish off the season against than Pittsburgh? Who better? There's nobody. There's no team I want to play in Week 18 more than the Pittsburgh Steelers because, in my opinion, it's the most enjoyable rivalry to watch. And I know not a lot of people outside of the Ravens and Steelers fans like it, but the reason that we love it is because it is the most physical football game of the year every year. These teams play hard and physical, and you don't get that in the NFL anymore. And it sets the tone for the playoffs. That's going to be played like a playoff game. Every Ravens Steelers game is played like a playoff game. And it's a week 18. The Steelers could be vying for a playoff spot. The Ravens will likely be vying for a playoff spot. I'm ecstatic. Also, shout out to the Ravens preseason schedule. They play against the Eagles, then the Commanders, then the Buccaneers. I'm not going to talk about that too much, but this is going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, my favorite game is the Christmas Day or not Christmas Eve, Christmas night game. I think that's going to be a ton of fun. Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on the schedule, your thoughts on, maybe the Ravens record, maybe what games you expect them to win and lose. You guys can obviously comment that. But thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content, and I'll see all of you again tomorrow.